What is going on, everybody? It is Jamie and welcome to the channel Thrift on Fire. Today we're going to be doing a much asked for tutorial video on how to sell on Poshmark.com as a Canadian. Before we get into today's topic, I want to remind you guys about Posh Sidekick. They actually just had a big merger with another company called Cross Listing. The new tool is now called Sidekick Tools. Everything is all in the same app. Okay, I haven't really deep dived cross listing yet, so we're not going to talk about it too much today. But Posh Sidekick, I've been using it for a long time. Offers to Likers is where most of my sales come from, and it's all automated through Sidekick. The other thing that I absolutely love still is silent auctions. I use that every single day. If you want to try, link down in the description below, absolutely free, and you can decide if it's right for you. First thing you're going to do, it's very simple. You're just going to go to Poshmark.com as opposed to .ca if you were just going to sign up for a regular Canadian account. So Poshmark.com, and you're just going to sign up for an account. And this is what my US account looks like. There's my name, Jamie C. It's the store 670. If we go up here, if I go to invite friends, this is the code you'd use, the store 670. If you want to, if you refer a friend, so you receive $10, I receive $10. So we're sort of just helping each other out at that point. If you want to, I'd appreciate it. But other than that, I'm a Posh Ambassador too. I've got all my stuff listed here in US funds, and this is what the account actually looks like. Now, this is the most important part. Once you sell something on Poshmark.com, you're going to need a third-party shipping company, okay? Poshmark is going to give you a United States Postal Service priority label, which you cannot use that in Canada. It just isn't going to work. So you need a third-party company that's going to get your label to the US. Now, I'm going to suggest this company here called Stallion Express. They have locations in Ontario, British Columbia, Quebec, and Alberta. Me personally, I use this drop-off here in London, Ontario, because it's close to me within an hour. So now if you don't have a Stallion Express in your area, you might have to do a little bit of research here and see if you do have a cross-border shipping company in your area or somebody who does third-party shipping, because this is a third-party label, right? You're taking the UPS label, or you're taking the United States Postal Service label, and you're getting it across the border using this company. Okay, I'll explain how that works a little more in a second here, but you absolutely have to have this, okay? The other thing you could do is use Stallion Express. They have this thing called, I'm just looking at on screen here, it's called UPS Book a Pickup, okay? So you could put everything in a box and you could ship it to one of the locations, but that would be out of your pocket. They do offer good discounts. I've done it before. You can do a pretty good size box for $15 to $20, but you'd have to build that into your business model. And you don't really want to have to do that. So as a last ditch effort, that is what you could do, but you really want to look for a local cross-border shipping company. Now, for the sake of this video, let's just assume you're going to use Stallion Express, okay? So you're going to create a Stallion Express account, and you're going to go and you're going to ship an item, all right? Just like you would on Canada Post, or if you sell on eBay, anything like that, or if you've ever sent your grandmother a sweater at Christmas time, you're going to go in there, you're going to put the person's name, the person's address, all the correct information, what it is that you're shipping, just like you would ship out anything else on any other platform. The difference is on Stallion Express, when you get to the point where it asks for postage, do you want to buy postage? You don't, because you have a United States Priority Mail prepaid shipping label from Poshmark.com, okay? So you say no to that, and then at the very end, it's going to ask for your tracking number. So you pick Priority Mail, because generally that's what you're going to get from Poshmark. You put the tracking number in, and then instead of charging you for the label, it says, hey, we're going to charge you X amount to ship this across the border. Normally, in most cases, it's around 90 cents Canadian. It's very reasonable. And at that point, you close it out. And, if you have another one, you ship the next order. Now, the next step, this sounds a little more complicated than it is. And this confused me a bit when I was trying to figure out how to do this myself. So let's say you sold 5 things on Poshmark and you've shipped out all these items. Stallion Express wants you to take those 5 items and batch them all together. So you just select them in your shipments, you call it batch Posh 1, and then when you go to your batches selected in Stallion Express, you actually close that batch of the 5 orders and print it off as just like a scannable sheet that they can use, okay? It sounds more complicated than it is, and if that's not enough information from you, just contact the support at Stallion Express when you need to batch your first order together, and they'll walk you through step by step how to do this. Now, fingers crossed, you're crushing it on Poshmark. You've got all these things sold and the money's starting to pile in, okay? So now you've got money redeemable money in your account, which is what you want, right? So the order has to get there. The person has to say, yay, we love it, the whole deal. That's what we're hoping for. And then you have all this money. But what do you do with it? You cannot send this money to a Canadian account. You can't actually even set up an account with TD or Scotiabank or a Canadian bank that's a US account. You actually need a United States bank account, okay? This is where a company like Wise comes in. This is the company I use. You can research other companies you want to use. I'll link Wise down below. I've used it for a while and absolutely love it. They do wind up sending you a bank card in the mail, so I have a regular bank card from them. I can add this money to my Apple Wallet, but it is all in US dollars. This is what the actual website looks like here. It's Wise. I think it used to be called TransferWise, or it had a different name before, but this is it. Wise.com. Okay, you're just going to register. You're just going to fill in your information, and that's about it. So you can set your bank account up any way you want. I personally have a Canadian bank account and a US bank account with them, but it's going to give you all the transaction details that Poshmark is going to ask for in your US account through Wise. You know, there's no fees for setting it up. There's no monthly fees to have a Wise bank account. I won't get into all the fees that actually do exist when you use the account. And, you know, if you're trying to take Canadian money to US money, of course, they're going to have some regular banking fees. You can look into all that on your own. But as far as a digital bank account that's going to work and not cost you any money out of pocket to get set up, this is your best option. And I do think their actual fees and stuff are very, very reasonable. They're going to change all the time. So I don't really want to date this video by giving you breakdowns of all the fees of all the transactions. You can look at that up on your own. It is wise.com. So it actually can be quite simple. You need a Poshmark.com account, so a US account. Then you need to have a cross-border shipper. In my case, I use Stallion Express. You can research in your area to see what's available. Then you're going to want to get paid, right? We all want to get paid. That's why we're doing this. Me, I use Wise. That's my US bank account. You're going to need a US bank account. And then at some point down the road, they'll pay you out when you start like normal. But at some point, you'll hit a threshold where they're going to want your tax information. You're going to submit, you know, usually your driver's license. And because you're a Canadian citizen, you're tax exempt in the US. And that's what all they need from you. And then you'll get all your payouts just like you would on Poshmark.ca. All right, so I don't do videos like this on my channel very often. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I'm normally going to thrift stores, yard sales, you know, basically trying to find stuff cheap to flip online. I had a lot of people ask me to make this particular video. I tried to do it as simple as possible. Hopefully it makes sense, or at least enough sense to get you going in the right direction. If you guys like videos like this, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing for more content. We'll see you guys soon.